Hello everyone, welcome back to Rathbone Manor. I've just returned from the car boot sale again, the flea market, with yet another interesting collection of tools and a large plant pot for Mrs Rathbone right here. And also got an interesting little book as well. So I think what we'll do is we'll take a look at the plant pot first. Mrs Rathbone wanted a large plant pot for her ever-expanding collection of house plants, as you can see here. And I'm not sure whether she wants this pot for one of these two palms here, or whether she wants it for the dwarf banana here. I'm not sure. But as you can see, she's getting quite a collection of house plants. Including this whopper, which absolutely loves it in the conservatory. Alrighty guys, so it's time to get our hands dirty now, and we'll take a look at what we got today then. Yeah, let's this book, the third book of problems you will meet every day, Workaday Arithmetic. So this is going back a bit, probably the 50s, 40s or 50s maybe. Just a sort of softback thing. London EC4. And we've got all kinds of interesting little problems and what have you here. Wages and stocking the china cupboard. Okay. Oh, the electricity supply, like reading your meter. That's interesting. We haven't got a meter like that. We've got a more modern digital meter now, rather than those old things that they used to have years ago. The electricity supply, trade discount, cash discounts. It's an interesting book, but for somebody like me who suffers with dyscalculia, which is like dyslexia for numbers, it's interesting, but yeah, I was never any good at maths. Something that used to really annoy my father quite a lot, actually, because he was really good at maths. Now there's an old aeroplane for a startlet, so maybe this book's from the 30s then. Yeah, my father used to get really upset with me for not being very good at maths at all, because he could do all sorts of super duper sums in his head, but I have a hell of a job with it, to be honest with you. But yeah, so that's an interesting little book. It cost me 50 pence. From that same stall then, I got these little pliers, because let's face it, after all, a visit to the car boot sale would not be complete without buying a pair of nice little pliers. I'll look at those in a minute or two. At the same time as I picked this book up, because what I tend to do is I tend to visit a stall, purchase something, go around the rest of the boot sale and come back and have another look. So it's on my second visit I came across these two screwdrivers right here. This one was of a great deal of interest to me because my late father had exactly the same thing in his toolbox. It's like a little sort of kind of electrician's sort of screwdriver, because you've got a small tip here for working on the chocolate box style of connectors you get, like these things here. So it's handy for that. And it also has this little wire stripper in here. So let's see if we'll strip this little bit of cable here, shall we? Yes, look at that. Nice one. Blimey, that worked well. Nice little screwdriver right there. This is the other screwdriver I got. These cost me 25 pence each, 50p for the two, and 50 pence for this book here. But this looks like an ordinary little Phillips screwdriver, but it actually isn't. And I thought, oh, that's interesting, because obviously you can pull the end out, and you've got two little Phillips driver bits there. But also you can pull the shaft out, like so, and we have a rather rusty flat-bladed screwdriver in the end too. So that's quite an interesting little pocket screwdriver. You've got a little pocket clip there. What's it got a name on there? Rolson. It's got Rolson on there. Hadn't noticed that till now. Interesting. So yeah, that's an interesting little screwdriver. Not bad for 25p. I quite like that one. Just needs a little bit of a cleaning up, that's all. I do like to pick up a nice little pair of pliers when I go to the boot sale, if they're in good nick. I mean, these are a little bit rusty on the jaws here, but I don't know whether the chromium has come off, or they're just surface rust. I'm not really sure just yet, but either way, I should think they'll clean it quite nicely. They're marked as Sheffield, England, but there's no maker's name on anywhere that I can see. No, there isn't. But I just like the little blue handles. They're very nice indeed. What size are they? Let's have a look. 5-inch. They're a 5-inch size pair of pliers, so that's an interesting size. I haven't got a 5-inch pliers, I don't believe. Fit in the hand quite nicely, as you can see. Do the jaw still cut? Let's get some wire over here and give them a go. They are a little stiff, but you can open them. And there's not a lot of damage that I can see to the jaws here. It's just a load of surface rust, really. So let's get a bit of cable in there and give them a go, shall we, guys? Oh yeah, just very, very stiff. But they do appear to cut all the way up and down the jaw. Yeah, they're good. They cut really well. I like those. They're nice. They're going to clean up really nicely, I'm hoping. Yeah, very nice. The other screwdriver I got is this largish Yankee, the Stanley Yankee. It's got a ratchet in action on it, so we can, as you can see, ratchet that way. We can reverse ratchet it, and as you guys will know, this also, there we go, it's a little stiff. Could do with a drop of oil. You can, blimey, yeah, crikey, that is stiff. Takes some pumping, that does. God, blimey, yeah. That's going to need a drop of oil on it then, guys, because you should be able to pump that. Okay, yeah, so that is going to take some serious sorting out, is that? Because it's doesn't want to go back in at all now. Blimey. Ouch. I keep trapping my hand in the front here as well, you know, where you release the dry... Oh, here we go. That does need some serious lubrication, guys, but we've got it working again. God. Yep, it's going to need some WD-40 in there, I think. Yeah. There we go. Let's see if we can get it back in again. There we are. Okay. Oh, phew. But other than that, it's quite nice. So we'll get some WD-40 onto that at some point or another. Ew! Okay, so I was trapping my finger in this gap here, like that there. So I was pinching my finger up. That was quite painful too. There's a lady who has a stall, and she regularly has a small box of tools there. I think I got all of these from her. Am I right in thinking this? I think I got all of these from her. They were about 10 pence each, I do believe. I'm busy thinking about it now, but yeah, I think I got... Do you know, I can't think now. I know I got this one, and this one from her, and maybe these. But anyway, irrelevant. They were all 10 pence each. Let's have a look at this little ring spanner first. What we have here is a 1/2-inch AF and 9/16 AF on this end. It's British, made by Brenco, I believe. I had to wire brush it off a little bit, but it's Brenco, British made little spanner. It's quite a nice little thing. This thing is apparently made by Shelley, made in England, and we have, what is that? 7/16 AF and 1/2-inch AF on that end there. So that's a nice little spanner too. It'll clean it very nicely. This little fella here is, no, it's not that one. This little fella here is unbranded, but it looks like it could shine up very nicely. There is actually a little mark just here. Don't know what that means. I'll put you a picture up just here of what that mark is. But these should polish up quite nicely, I think. It doesn't even give you the sizes of this little fella either. So yeah, interesting little spanner then. Now once again, I will visit a stall and purchase something from the stall, and then go back after I've been around all the other stalls and have a look what else I got. So on my first visit to the lady, I purchased this little fellow here, and I noticed it's got Billings on it. It's a little Billings wrench made in the USA. It's 1/4-inch that end and 5/16 on this end here. And on my second visit to her, I picked up this one as well. I mean, you can see this is a lot grubbier, but again, it's a Billings, and I think these are a part of a set. This one is, oh crikey, I ain't going to be able to see that one. I think it's, what is that, 5/8 that end, and is it 7/8 or 3/4 or something like that end. Anyway, I'll put some pictures up so we get the exactly what sizes they are. Both of these Billings also have little numbers stamped in here. Not sure what that means. We have 1412W on this one and 1123W on this one here, so I don't know what significance that has, but obviously something. Machine number maybe, what the machine they were used on, I don't know. The last stall I visited was run by an old gentleman, and he had loads of tools, including these two here. And I took one look at this and I thought, well, I'm never going to be able to afford that thing, because it's going to be a fortune. Because as you guys can see, if you know these tools, you'll know that this thing is quite old. It's got to be from the 1800s sometimes, probably sometime from the mid 1800s up to the late 1800s possibly. It's quite old. It just about runs. I think it needs a damn good cleaning up. It's very, very, very stiff anyway. So I thought, well, you know, I'd spent quite a bit of my money. I think I might have had about £7 left, so I thought, well, you know, I'm never going to be able to afford this, but I'll ask him anyway. So he comes across and I said, how much do you want for that then? You know, expecting something ridiculous. You'll never believe the guy said £1. Really? £1 for this? And also £1 for this. This thing is huge. Absolutely massive. It is 19 inches in length, this thing. 19 inches. It is enormous. I don't know how much it weighs, but it's quite a hefty bit of kit, is this. It's quite old. I'm not sure what it would have been used on, but it's what are the markings here? I think it's I think we have 1 1/8" at one end and 1 1/4" at the other, I do believe. But whatever it is, it's massive. I'm hoping I can sort of polish this up and make it look really nice. But it's gigantic. Weighs an absolute ton, it really does. Right, and I've got Mrs Rathbone's kitchen scales here. Let's have a look. Put it on there nice and gently. £5, 15 3/4 of an ounce. Woo! Man, that's heavy. 2.7 kilograms. Oh yeah, I was seriously pleased to get this fellow for £1 then. Nice. What about the other spanner? Let's move it off here. Put it down on the floor. Right, and this thing here, as I say, this is going back a bit, is this one, to the mid to late 1800s, I would say. It's a bit rusty, but it should clean up quite nicely. It does just about run. It's a bit on the stiff side of things, and I think this is going to, as you can see, the handle adjustment knob is going to come out at some point or another, starting to come out, so we'll be able to take that apart. God blimey, yeah, that's a massive bit of kit is this. Look at that. Beautiful, not bad for £1. What do you think, guys? I do like that. There's no maker's name on this that I can find at the moment, as there isn't on the humongous great big open-ended spanner down there on the floor now. So yeah, wow, so that's not bad, is it, for £1? What with the other spanner there? £2 spent on one stall. Nice. I'd like to know how old this thing is really, but it's you can see it's quite old. Yeah, nice one. Alright then guys, so we've got our hands nice and filthy today. Yep, so we've got a nice large pot for Mrs Rathbone there, an interesting little book, a little screwdriver like my father used to have years ago, so that's a few memories for me right there. Interesting little screwdriver there. Got a Yankee, a Stanley Yankee there, which is not too bad, and it needs a little bit of lubrication. Two fantastically large spanners for £1 each, like those. And of course we have some Billings spanners just there. One of those has actually got a chip, I've noticed, as I was bringing the stuff out here to display for you. I've noticed it's actually got a little chip on the larger opening there. And as I say, what trip to a boot sale would be complete without buying a pair of pliers? Well, in my mind, none at all. Got to buy some pliers. They're a very nice little pair of 5-inch pliers right there. Hoping they'll clean up a little bit, even if the chromiums come off them. I think I could probably still polish them up a little bit by removing all the chromium possibly, or it could just be some surface rust. I'm not really sure what's going on there at the moment, but quite a nice little tool haul then. I do like that lot. Very pleased with these two here for £1 each. So yeah, I do hope you enjoyed popping over to Rathbone Manor today to take a look at my nice tool and flower pot haul. and my little booklet, of course. Not that I understand much about that. But yes, anyway, hope you enjoyed popping over. I hope you'll come over another Sunday, because it'll be a couple of weeks' time before I go off to the boot sale again. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at these tools, guys. I hope you'll come back in the near future again. And well, thanks for watching. One of the other things I found today was this stuffed cat. It was on Mr Silver Van Man's stall, and he said it was a ship's cat. Apparently ships back in the old days had a cat on board for a good look or something like that there. I don't know, but that's what he was saying anyway. So that was a curious little thing I found. Remember to take yourself some sturdy gloves along, guys, if you're diving through boxes of tools. If you look at the top left hand side of this box, you will see there's a knife blade and another very sharp piece of kit in there that could very easily cut your hands while you're having a look. So take some gloves with you, guys.